Derby, and we get to commentate the teams that we commentate on most. I mean, I do Luton and Watford and all that kind of stuff, but I do Milton Keynes Dons most of the time. You get to see how they play, and I've said it openly about MK Dons should go up this season.
Yeah.
And I think after you've seen them today, you'll probably agree with me. But I think that there are some problems that Stevenage can pose MK Dons, and I think this will be closer than you maybe think it will be this afternoon. You've got a bit of a pessimistic attitude, Mr. Watkins.
No, I haven't. I just...
Do you fear the team at the top of the table?
No, not particularly. I just fear that Stevenage got really undone by a very good Bury side last week. And
so it's more about the mentality from them.
And probably the ability of this Stevenage side. And don't get me wrong, this Stevenage side have mixed it with some of the best in the league so far and have performed pretty well. And the good news for Stevenage is they've got 3 players back, because that really is a worry when they have players out, because you do fear for the strength in depth. You've still got no Danny Newton there, which is probably a big myth for Stevenage. But this Stevenage side, don't get me wrong, I'm really hoping and praying that they will put last week at the back of their minds, and today will be a new start for them, if you like. Do you know what I mean? They've had a couple of really tough away days, and now they're back home and they'll want to perform.
Do you think it's fair to say that Stevenage this season have been consistently inconsistent?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what he'll be looking for. That's what Dinglo's looking for. He knows his side can go out and get results and beat teams and play good football. He wants it week in, week out.
Yep, absolutely. And that's the key for it, for me. And there's nobody that kind of emphasises that more for me than Ben Kennedy, who comes back in today. We need Ben Kennedy up and running this afternoon. Simple as that. If he is, then Stevenage are capable of competing with anybody, and if Ben Kennedy's on form, he is always going to be a handful for any side in this league. But we haven't seen it enough this season. We need to see it today.
Against MK Dons then, Stevenage lost each of their last 3 league games against the Dons, and that was since that 1-0 victory, and I think that was Wesley against Robinson, wasn't it, in 2012 at Stadium MK, I think it was, wasn't it?
The last one was here, wasn't it? The 3-2.
Yeah,
when Stevenage were 2-0 up at half time.
And Dean Lewington got the winner. Yes, that was the.
And that was effectively the game that relegated Stevenage. It was quite early, but it was the game that kind of meant that Stevenage were going down. Anyway, that's all in the past, Luke. We're not worried about the past. It's all about the day.
It's all about right now. Just talk us through the lineup then, the Stevenage lineup this afternoon. I mean, Ronnie Henry coming in, Steve. He hasn't played much football, has he?
No, he's not. But he'll be coming in at right back. Obviously, no Luther Wild in, so Ronnie Henry, the skipper there, he won't let them down. Scott Cuthbert, Ben Nugent coming back in after a nasty injury a couple of weeks ago. Johnny Hunt and Steve Seddon as well, down at Plymouth, picked up a really nasty looking injury, but thankfully he's managed to recover from that one. So all good for Stevenage. MK Dons just the one change, of course.
Yeah, just the one change. Hancock's coming in for the suspended Bailey Cargill. Steve's going to get us underway with commentary, and anyone listening to this afternoon, let's just as we get underway, let's just take it as read. Steve is your Stevenage man and I'll be your MK Dons man, so don't give us any of this one counties radio rubbish that we hear so often. We're calling it for both sides.
It's MK Dons who are immediately on the attack as it happens, and then into the area they go, and it was Kieran Agard who dragged his shot safely into the arms of Stevenage keeper Seni Dieng, but that's an early warning for Stevenage, and they've survived it.
Absolutely. Those front 3 with Anike, Agard and Healy really are terrorising defences at the moment.
And I would have said that Stevenage have got one of the best defences in the league, and they certainly had proven that until last week, of course, and even then,
a couple of those shots. I mean, I watched the highlights.
They were very good out the side of the area. They're not really bad defensive errors.
And so you think maybe they deserved to lose the game, but maybe 4-0 was painted it slightly differently.
Well,
okay.
I wouldn't say that. But in front of goal, Stevenage defended very well. It was the long-range efforts that undone them, which happens. There were some really good goals. Scott Cuthbert cushioning a header, and it's played forward by Nugent down that left-hand channel. Alex Ravel will chase. Can he keep it in? There's a bit of buffeting going on between him and George Williams. and the ball will run out safely for a goal kick to the Dons. Dons playing this game where you play it from the back, which is what Stevenage do from free kicks, and almost annoyingly at times for me, but there you go. It's one in midfield and play forward, and Nike will chase. He'll chase that wide, but Seni Dieng will watch that one and will gather. It's a bit of a surprise for me seeing Seni Dieng there, because Paul Farman coming back from injury, I just felt that was the opportunity to get Farman back in goal, but Dino Mamria sticking with Dieng, who I have to say is a really good young goalkeeper, obviously on loan from QPR at the moment.
What's the time frame for the stand then, Steve?
Last September, I think.
Oh right, okay. We'll go back to that conversation in a minute.
It's the Dons on the attack at the moment.
Really?
Healy it is, who just gathers, composes. Oh, it's just opened up into the Stevenage area. The shot comes in, and it's half defended away. A second shot will come in from Alex Gilby, I think it was, and that was deflected away, and then the header goes comfortably past the post.
Agard again.
From Kieran Agard. So it's a goal kick to Stevenage. Yeah, there's ongoing problems with the stand, which have now been overcome, so we should see movement from now, is the news. There's one of those boxes there is a power supply to the whole of this part of Stevenage.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to mess that up.
And there was a bit of a mess up on the the rights and everything else. So the stand got demolished. That was left, couldn't be touched. Now they've come to an agreement. They've rebuilt it. They're waiting for the new power supply to come in. And once that's in,
couple of 50p's in the meter, and we'll be well away. Just in case MK Dons fans don't, I mean, Stevenage fans will know what I'm talking about. But there's one end here that's being completely redeveloped, and it will make this into a nice little tight ground, wouldn't it? It really did need improving that stand.
Yeah.
Right, we'll get back to the football. You haven't missed much, by the way.
Out of play from Stevenage skipper Ronnie Henry. And it's a throw played back to Dean Lewington, who's been in just about every MK Dons side that I think I've ever seen play.
722 appearances. the most appearances from a Football League player.
It's an impressive record, and one that you can only take your cap off to. Ben Kennedy in possession at the moment. He'll find Johnny Hunt. Back to Kennedy. Kennedy to Steve Seddon. Joel Byram. Byram looks for Alex Ravel. He's just too far above him. Alex Ravel gives him a glare. Ball goes over his head and out for a goal kick. He'll be disappointed with that, as will Joel Byram, of course.
Yeah, it was almost between Campbell Rice and Ravel, wasn't it? It was neither fish nor foul. It was disappointing.
Joel Byram, who's cultured. Look at this from the goal kick. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players of black or white shirts.
Interesting, isn't it?
Around the area.
Yeah.
Chuck Zaniki and Scott Cuthbert in a bit of a battle. It's Cuthbert won that one. Work to Jamal Campbell-Rice. Campbell-Rice to Ronnie Henry down this right-hand side. He'll play it infield to Alex Ravel. Ravel offloads to Michael Timlin. And that's out to Hunt. Hunt looking for Seddon. That's off for Seddon and out for a throw-in.
Yeah, good defending from Williams. He just came across and put his foot in at exactly the right time. Well, you can see already that Dino Mamria has said his players don't let them play it out from the back.
No, absolutely.
They're crowding round when the defenders are waiting for the ball, and that's really interesting, because I haven't seen any other team do that this season.
Scott Cuthbert there had to be sharp, and sharp he was to take it away from Healy, and it's out on this near side. In fact, it wasn't Healy, it was Jordan Houghton, I think.
It's interesting. After the first kind of 2 minutes of this game, MK Dons looked really comfortable. Since then, Stevenage have just settled into the game. They're having more of the ball, and they look really controlled at the moment, Stevenage.
Johnny Hunt at the moment just plays it into Joel Byram. Ben Kennedy brought into play. Back to Michael Timlin. Clipped forward from him, but only onto the head of George Williams. Williams trying to get it away. Closed down by Seddon, and that's going to be a throw-in at 10 yards from the corner flag over on that far side. If you've only just joined us, it's 6.5 minutes played here at the Lamex. It's goalless. Scott Cuthbert, good ball forward from him, and Ravel will receive it back from Kennedy, gets it across first time, but now it's back with Kennedy on the edge of the area, helps it through to Ronnie Henry. Jamal Campbell-Rice looking to go on the outside. It's good defending from Mitch Hancock's, and it's out for a throw-in. I do apologise if you're hearing any strange noises. There's
no way to speak about me, Steve.
I'll try and keep him quiet. Reece Healy away. That's really annoying me. I don't know about you.
I don't know whether the listeners can hear it, to be honest with you. You can maybe get in touch if you're listening on 95.5 if you can hear a strange kind of electrical noise coming through your radios. If not, don't worry, we'll cope with it. It's just this end. But 81333, start your messing with 3CR. You can tweet Stevie here or me at Ashmead72. Or if you're a Borough fan, what are you on these days?
SJ Watkins.
SJ Watkins. Sounds like a firm of solicitors.
Just an offside flag there against Chuktaniki. And Seni Dieng will come, 10 yards outside of his area.
Is it gone?
To get the clearance away. It's come back.
Oh.
It's
not that then.
No. Nugent fired in a ball forward. I think he was asking Alex Ravel to control that one. Well, he didn't, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Again, look at how short this is. It's really... And the goalkeeper has decided against this, Lee Nichols. He's thought there's no outlet for him there. He's going to go long, and so perhaps Stevenage will feel that's job done in the early stages.
What they're saying is, Dino said to him, "Stop them taking the short goal kicks. We'll just try and compete for it in the middle of the park." And at the moment, it's working.
Yeah,
that's a good ball.
Lewington forward. Healy will chase. Ronnie Henry has to take the touch, and all he can do is put it out of play.
It was solid play from Ronnie Henry, wasn't it? You wouldn't rely on anyone more than Ronnie Henry in that position just to know where the ball's going to land and deal with it properly.
Yeah. Dons in possession. Jordan Houghton playing it to Williams. Callum Britton back to Williams. And Houghton will receive again, and he'll turn it back. See this so often at this level now. Teams just knocking it around, quite happy to play it back into their own half. Ball into the Stevenage area. Scott Cuthbert will meet that one. He'll head it looking for Joel Byram. Byram sticks out a toe and manages to find Johnny Hunt, who'll get it forward. And now Kennedy, he just got onto that little flick from Alex Ravel, and his touch was too much and out of play. But Stevenage quick to counter there on what was a promising build-up from the Dons. Callum Britton with the throw. Gathered in midfield by Alex Gilby. Turn it forward. Nugent, let it bounce and then plays it over his shoulder high into the Dons half of the pitch. And it's out of play on the halfway line. Alex Gilby, the man who just put it out, so Hunt it is with the throw. Won by Callum Britton, though. Playing it forward, looking for Anike to chase. Nugent and him collide. Anike gets it away. Ball into the area. The flag goes up for offside, and it's fired into the roof of the net by Reece Healy, but
miles offside, wasn't he?
Yeah. There's big cheers from the Dons fans, but the flag had long gone up. That will be what Seni Dieng's excuse is anyway, as the ball flew past him and he didn't have a chance.
Battered into the net, wasn't it?
Yeah. Dieng clears. Seddon couldn't get on to that one. It's out for a throw. Some banter being exchanged between the two sets of fans. Good to see that away stand as populated as it is today. Don't seem to see that so often these days.
Well, I say people send me tweets. My Twitter seems to be completely gone, so I've got no Twitter at the moment. I'll try and get it sorted at half time. Maybe you can tell Steve if you're hearing that horrible noise that we're hearing here.
It's we've got a goal in one of our featured games. There's a throw over on that far side though to the Dons. Callum Britton with the ball in hand. 15 yards from the corner flag. He'll get it back and looks to go on the outside. Can he get the cross in? He can. The header comes in as well and it's flashed wide. In fact, it's off a Stevenage head, so it'll be a corner.
Yeah. I think it came off Michael Timlin actually, who was back there defending the number 4.
Yeah.
And they all walked away as if it was a goal kick, but they weren't fooling anyone.
Corner from this near side. It's played into the near post now. Scott Cuthbert heads it away into the back of Joel Byram, and then the shot comes in from Mitch Hancock's.
And that got that all wrong, didn't
he? Yeah. If there was a stand there, I think that would have cleared it.
Yeah, I thought it was going on the road actually. It was only the little spin on it that kept it in the ground.
Yeah.
Poor from Hancock. He's got his first goal for the club in a, I was going to say Johnson's Paint Trophy game there, but Checkatrade Trophy game in the 3-2 defeat against Brighton. Mitch Hancock's not had too much football this season, but he's doing Dean Lewington's role today in that left wing back position.
He's Ben Kennedy, who's just takes a shove from Lewington.
Well, Ben Kennedy does what Dean Lewington does 3 or 4 times a game. He did a Lewington, what we call a Lewington, just waiting for Dean Lewington to come up behind him, gets a little shove in the back and goes straight over and wins a free kick. It's very good play from Kennedy, because in that position there he had nowhere to go, nothing to do. He's got a free kick and it's like a corner.
It's right by the corner flag, it was.
Happy days.
And in fairness, it was hands on the back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're dead right, he went he took that opportunity.
Yeah.
It's Joel Byram now with this corner. It's, well, I'll say corner, free kick. It's a yard from the the corner quadrangle. Here it comes from Joel Byram. It's Don's head on it though, and then it's hoisted away by Healy. And now there's numbers for the Dons as they can break down the middle. It's Gilby who'll release Agard into the area. Can he get the shot away? No, he can't, and he goes to ground, cries for a penalty, but I don't think that was the case. Gilby gets it back to Agard again, and the Stevenage defence are back in numbers now. And the attempted cross from Britton, I think it was, and then the shot will come in, and it's Nugent who's got a head on that one and turns it behind. But a dangerous moment there. Yeah,
good bit of pressure from MK Dons there. Nugent needed to get his head on that. I think there was an MK Dons player just lurking behind him, and it was important maybe he did get that touch and put it over the bar. But in that situation when Nugent made the decision to get in and head it, could have gone anywhere, Steve. That was one that could have gone in the back of the net. But good play down that right-hand side. Agard just maybe had a bit too much time at one point, and he didn't dispatch the ball well. But good work from Britton. He couldn't get past John Hunt. John Hunt did well, and then he laid it back and it was delivered really nicely.
So, corner comes in. Lewington will play it short. It's worked to Hancock's. Hancock's drills the ball in. It's Scott Cuthbert who gets the block, and Stevenage work it into the Dons half, where it gets played back to Lee Nichols. Ben Kennedy chasing, and then it's played back from him to Alex Gilby.
Lee Nichols, the most amount of clean sheets in League 2 so far this season, 9 I think, showing that he could do a little bit of a job as a sweeper keeper there.
Yeah. Stevenage aren't far behind that, I think they've got 6 or 7 clean sheets themselves.
Interesting to see Lincoln City 1, Mansfield 1 earlier. That will please, I think supporters of both clubs really, because Mansfield certainly...
Does that change the top of the table?
No, I don't believe it does, because it does, yes. Goal difference. Right. Goal difference. Sorry, apologies. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, goal difference of 1. Well, it can't be goal difference, can it? Oh, the point, and then goal difference, previous goal difference.
Long clearance there, taken down nicely on the chest by Alex Ravel, who got fouled. Then John Byram did slide in a little bit, but the free kick had already been given to Stevenage. So Stevenage with his free kick, 10-12 yards outside the area. I think we'll see exactly how far it is when the referees step this out. Mr. Huxtable. Yeah, I think it is about maybe 13-14 yards, but 4 Stevenage players stood over the ball at the moment. Michael Timlin, Joel Byram, Johnny Hunt, Steve Seddon as well. The referee making sure it's all moved. It's a bit of a move coming here, and it's played into Seddon. Seddon turns and squares. Well worked.
No,
it nearly caught Don's out.
It did. No, Seddon's run down that left-hand side was decent. His delivery was poor, though, wasn't it?
Just couldn't pull it back enough. As Callum Britton makes good ground down that right-hand side, then turns it back to George Williams. Even Stevens, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's 18 minutes played. Hancock's with the throw on this near side, finds Dean Lewington. How old is Dean Lewington?
34, 33, 34. He's not as old as you think he.
No, so there's still plenty of opportunity to add to those 722, isn't there?
Yep, he'll want to. He'll want to.
Good ball from Timlin, finds Johnny Hunt. Hunt looking for Seddon. Seddon over on that far side, loses out to Callum Britton. Britton with the throw in, finds Alex Gilby, just 5-10 yards inside the Dons half. Back to George Williams, who'll lift it down that right hand channel. Nugent meets that one and just returns it for where it's just come from. And the second ball won by Seddon, goes to ground on that far side. A bit of a tussle with George Williams. Chucksaniki being watched closely by Scott Cuthbert, but it's Agard who'll work it across. Dien has to chase it to this near side. Does well to get his clearance away under pressure.
Yeah, he wanted to stop it going out for a corner, and then he got put under pressure, didn't he? He had to put it out. He probably did the right thing in the end, Steve, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Dino Manria down there in a suit today, trying to match up with Paul Tisdale, I would imagine. He can't match him for his
sartorial elegance.
Yeah, his dress sense, that's for sure. Ball put out again by Jamal Campbell-Rice. So another throw on this near side. Hancock's ball in hand, 10 yards from the corner flag on the Dons left-hand side. Back to Hancock's from Agard. Tried to get it in, but couldn't do so. It's gone loose, though, and gathered, and Timlin comes away with it. He's caught late. Ben Kennedy, though, will run onto that. Play on, says the referee, as Kennedy gets to the edge of the area. Now, can he conjure up anything from there? He does. He lifts it forward. It's headed in, and the ball finds the net, and Stevenage take the lead. It's Steve Seddon who got on the end of that one, and you have to give credit there to Ben Kennedy because he held it up perfectly, played it across. Alex Ravel into the path of Seddon, who just bundled it home at the far post. Stevenage 1, MK Dons 0.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see who actually scored the goal, but it was a really good delivery from Kennedy. He just hung it up almost to the edge of the 6-yard box on the far side. He just said, go on, somebody have a go at that. They did, and I think Ravel in the 6-yard box put Lee Nichols off a little bit, and I think it went past him and into the back of the net.
I think Seddon got the touch.
Yeah. Oh, Seddon got the touch at the end.
Yeah. It was just been announced as awarded to Steve Seddon. Yeah. And that's what Steve Seddon gives you. He is a left back. He's playing left midfield, but he loves getting in and around those dangerous areas. That's his 3rd goal of the season. And credit to the referee as well, because that would have been easy to pull the foul back on the edge of the Stevenage penalty area.
Absolutely, the foul that Gilby committed.
Yep. Scott Cuthbert.
Big goal that, Steve. Important goal that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just because there was a point in the last 5 or 6 minutes I thought, God, this game could finish 0-0. No, do you know what I mean? It had that feel that it was really
chanceless, wasn't it?
It was chanceless.
Yeah.
But that might just open things up.
I have to say, that was what I want from Ben Kennedy. And I was talking about that before the game. Ball into the area, and it's watched by Seny Dieng. I tell you what, I'm going to hand it over to you now. I've got my goal. I'm going to hand it over to you to take us through.
All right, good stuff. Dieng has the ball. It's Stevenage 1, MK Dons 0 then in League 2 here on 104.5 FM and 95.5 FM on BBC Three Counties Radio. Long ball forward, takes a touch out of play from a Stevenage ball forward, and Lee Nichols has the ball now on the edge of his 6-yard box.
Immediately Stevenage closing down again and just shutting off any chance of playing a short free goal kick.
Nichols plays it long. It's poor from Lee Nichols. It's going to be left by Ronnie Henry.
But that's all
forcing
part of the Stevenage plan, because they're not used to playing that.
No.
So Lee Nichols is then kind of thinking, well, what are we going to do?
No, tactically, Dino's kind of winning this game at the moment, I have to say. Good challenge from Hancock. Did ever so well against Campbell Rice. Gilby clears it upfield towards Agard. Good header away, though, by Ben Nugent. It's in the middle of the park. Is it a throw for Stevenage? It is, and Borough will have the opportunity in front of the MK Dons technical area to get the ball forward. 1-0 to Borough. Steve Seddon with the goal for the home side. In front of those MK Dons supporters. Here's Henry. Infield it goes. This is decent for Byram. Byram will roll it back to Scott Cuthbert. Cuthbert across to Nugent. Nugent about 12 yards in front of his own penalty area. Will play the ball long. Lofted forward towards Ravel. Good header from Ravel, but it's only going to find Gilby. It's going to be chased down by Timlin, but Gilby will roll it back to Nichols. And Nichols left-footed will smash it upfield towards Anike, but Healy nicks it away from Anike. It's probably the best thing that could have happened as well. Still Healy running forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Still Healy onto Anike. Anike's touch was poor, but it's Gilby now. Gilby on the left-hand side, looking to get the ball delivered against Henry. Campbell Rice comes back. Campbell Rice makes the challenge, but he's fouled Alex Gilby, and it will be a free kick.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. You know, I don't know that there's too much Campbell Rice could have done there, because he kind of knocked the ball and ran into him, and it was given as a free kick. I'd be disappointed if I was Dino Mamria there. I think he's probably telling the fourth official that.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think you're absolutely right. I'm not sure it was a free kick, but it's been given, and MK Dons have a real opportunity to get back on parity here, losing by 1-0 here at the Lamex Stadium on 104.5 FM and 95.5 FM. Luke Ashmead and Steve Watkins. Dean Lewington's over this, as is that Jordan Houghton? I think it's Jordan Houghton. It is Jordan Houghton and Dean Lewington over it, right on the edge of the penalty area on the left-hand side.
This is dangerous.
This is really dangerous for Borough. The manager, Paul Tisdale, in conversation with Mel Gwinnett, Matt Oakley. Here comes the delivery. Houghton into the penalty area. I think he almost just put it in front of Seny Dieng and said, somebody touched that in. Nobody did, because it was headed away, I think, by Michael Timlin. It's behind, and it will be a corner.
Yeah.
A corner for MK Dons. Again, Houghton and Lewington over this. It's the combination. Hancock's is lurking just on the edge of the penalty area. Delivery, poor delivery. Is it going to come through to an MK Dons player? Well, it's come all the way out to the centre circle, and Britton will float it into the penalty area, but Dieng comes out and collects the ball. No mistake there from the goalkeeper, all in yellow, collects it, and it's a Stevenage ball.
Good goalkeeping that, wasn't it? He's come, 15, 16 yards off his line there, and it was kind of floated and hanging there for him.
Yeah, don't get in my way, he said, didn't he? He was like... very commanding that.
It's Kennedy again.
Kennedy on the far side. Of course, he had the assist for the opening goal in many respects. Although probably given to Ravel, won't it? Lost though by Byram in the middle of the park. Picked up by Chucks Anike. Anike will go long towards Kieran Agard. Header away by Scott Cuthbert. Over to the far side, Britton gets it back into the middle of the park. It's picked up nicely by Michael Timlin. Timlin to Campbell Rice. Overlap here from Henry. Henry down the right-hand side against Lewington. Squares it across towards Kennedy. Kennedy can't get hold of it. Houghton does well. Hancock's now will roll the ball back to Lee Nichols, and Nichols will go long. Not great from Nichols. It's going to be found by Timlin. Good header though by Rhys Healey. Tries to get it to Agard, but Stevenage get possession back again. Henry, Campbell Rice. Healey challenging, fouled by Rhys Healey, and it's going to be a free kick and possibly a bit of a talking to from Rhys Healey, and that's the first foul, he said, that I've made, and I think the referee will probably agree with him. Not quite sure there's going to be a card for Rhys Healey. The referee will just come across towards Campbell Rice.
I think Joel Byram would be wanting a word with the referee as well. Just a moment or two ago, there was a promising attack building up. Joel Byram had the ball, played towards him, and the referee just completely got in his way, and he lost possession probably far too easily. But I think the referee was the main reason for that.
Mr. Brett Huxtable. We've had experience of Mr. Huxtable before, I have to say. He's not one of our favourites.
He's not the smallest of chaps either, is he? No.
Anyway, we digress. Byram with the free kick. Left-footed, floats the ball. Good ball in. Header in the air by George Williams. Not dealt with yet. Lewington can get it away. Can Agard get onto that? No, he can't. Campbell Rice will get it to Alex Ravel. John Hunt will go down the far side. Doesn't need him. Ravel will play it across to Henry. That's not great from Alex Ravel.
Good idea.
Yeah, it was a good idea. Henry needed to be on his heels towards it first, and he wasn't. And MK Dons have a throw towards Houghton. Houghton to Gilby. Gilby will roll it back to Jordan Moore-Taylor. MK Dons just not able to unlock Stevenage defence at the moment. They're not able to really do anything in the final third. Having to play those long balls. And Nike heads the ball well and then follows this through. Still chucks a Nike. Just tried to roll it into the... Well, I'm not sure whether that was for Healey or Agard, but he got it all wrong. Clearance only as far as Hancock's. Hancock's towards Houghton. Alex Ravel, brilliant play from him, but it's fallen to a Nike. Picked up by Healey. Healey with a shot. Great shot from Healey! What a goal from Rhys Healey! Healey on the edge of the box. Right-footed curling shot. You could see it all the way. Rhys Healey with the goal. It's level here at the Lamex. Stevenage 1, MK Dons 1.
And that was all from a poor clearance from Nugent for me. That was cleared into that midfield area. And, it was just recycled by Dons. And, again, that's another finish that Stevenage have been punished from outside the area. Curling shot and, that curled a mile. It curled a mile.
Beautiful, wasn't it?
As soon as he hit it, you knew where that was going.
We've got a game here, Steve. Yeah. We've got a proper game here because they needed that, MK Dons.
Yeah.
Stevenage have been the better of the two. Not by much, but they've been the better of the two sides in the opening 28 minutes.
Yeah.
It's 1-1 now, and that might give the visitors a bit of confidence. I think we've got a real game on our hands here at the Lamex Stadium this afternoon. I think both sides are decent.
Just think Ben Nugent's going to be really disappointed with himself there that he didn't get a good clearance away.
Free kick been given for the foul against Steve Seddon, and again I think that was a bit harsh as well.
Foul on Steve Seddon.
Yes, on Steve Seddon.
Yeah. I think it was another shove, and to be honest, it was two players that were moving in the same direction, wasn't it? And again, it was another easy one for him to get onto.
And that's the MK Dons fans making some noise. They're enjoying themselves here, but it's a free kick to Borough.
We've got no real right foot specialist here. Michael Timlin would probably be the right foot set piece player. This is a similar position from where that free kick that Stevenage manufactured 10 minutes or so ago, isn't it?
Peter Memory just wanting John Hunt to get out of that area and move more centrally. Seddon will leave the scene. It's Byram and Timlin, isn't it? It's Joel Byram's going to put it in, isn't it?
Joel Byram, yeah.
Yeah, Byram's going to stick this in. Here it comes. Good delivery right to the heart of the box all the way through. Cuthbert was the man coming across.
Corner given.
But a corner has been given, and there was only Cuthbert and Ben Nugent, the two players that were able to get it. And there was about 4 or 5 MK Dons players, and of course it's come off a Dons player and it's behind for a corner. Good game this so far. Stevenage 1, MK Dons 1. Goal from Steve Seddon, and then the reply on 28 minutes from Rhys Healey. 3 Counties Sport, 104.5 FM and 95.5 FM. Stevenage 1, MK Dons 1. Corner's going to be delivered from this near side. Joel Byron with it, of course. Ronnie Henry's short if he needs him. He's not going to play it to Ronnie Henry. He's going to play it into the heart of the penalty area. Good delivery all the way across. Cuthbert's there. Header away was a decent one. Campbell Rice. Oh, he'll roll it back. Byron delivers. Left-footed delivery to the far post. Goalkeeper Lee Nichols comes, collects and does well.
Yeah, it was too floated from Joel Byron. Oh, that's a good win.
Good tackle from Timlin.
Oh.
Then the free kick's been given for the challenge on Gilby.
I'm not happy with that one. Michael Timlin's gone in, he's won the ball and he's come away with it.
Yeah, I'm not so sure there was much wrong with that, but the referee's given it as a free kick. Took his time though, didn't he?
This is it's hotting up quite nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. The game's getting better and better, and the atmosphere between the fans is good as well. And it's going to be whatever happens. After all this, it's going to be a free kick for MK Dons on the edge of the D. Lee Nichols with it short to Jordan Moore-Taylor. Moore-Taylor then left-footed will play the ball forward. High looping ball towards the edge of the Stevenage penalty area. Header away was a good one from Cuthbert. Campbell Rice is there. Nike gets a touch, gets it to Jordan Moore-Taylor. He'll play it down the line towards Healy. Healy can't get their throw into Stevenage. Henry with it.
There's no time in the midfield for either side. Stevenage playing very much a pressing game, and they're probably benefiting from it as well. And Dons really haven't quite come to terms with it.
No. Alex Ravel on his old colleague Dean Lewington there with a little smile on his face. Alex Ravel.
Bodies everywhere.
He's a bit of a unit, isn't he, Ravel? He's solid, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
Alex Ravel.
Yeah, he's a proper athlete.
Really like him. Really like him as a player and as a man. I think he's a top bloke, Alex Ravel. A lot of time for him as a footballer and as a person. Here's Hancock's to Healy. Healy loses out this time, and Byron will just roll it over to Campbell Rice. Campbell Rice with a decent ball down the line towards Kennedy. Kennedy up against Jordan Moore-Taylor. Kennedy, still Ben Kennedy. Kennedy and Jordan Moore-Taylor going at it. Moore-Taylor gets the better this time. Then the foul from Ben Kennedy. And Jordan Moore-Taylor not happy with that challenge from Kennedy. He gets up and leaves it alone. And Ben Kennedy gets booed by the MK Dons fans and then gets a yellow card.
Do you know what?
I think it's a bit silly. I think it's a silly challenge from Kennedy, but I don't think it's a yellow card, actually.
I think he felt he was fouled when he had the ball back to goal.
Which was the problem.
And that's probably
why he got the yellow card. I think in isolation, Kennedy's tackle is probably not a yellow card. I think the referee saw it as retribution for what happened.
Ben Kennedy and Dean Lewington having a few words. Ben Kennedy is thumbs up to the referee.
Interesting. Got a bit spicy in this game now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kennedy with the yellow card.
Yeah,
no, absolutely. It's great. 1-1 is the scoreline. Enjoying this one a lot.
Do you know what? Ben Kennedy thrives in that situation as well.
Jordan Moore-Taylor with a challenge from Byram, and then just watch out for this game. This game has got the opportunity and the possibility of just boiling over, Steve.
Yeah.
Williams now with the ball for MK Dons. William goes over the halfway line. He hasn't got much in the way of options, but he finds one with Anike. Nike's first touch is good, and he plays out to what a ball from Anike. Lovely ball from Anike. Britton puts it in. Chance here. Williams is there, and it's over the bar. Lovely football from MK Dons. Decent delivery from the far side from Britton. Great play from Anike over the bar, and it's a goal kick.
It's all about that pass from Anike there, isn't it? And it was just out of nothing, and all of a sudden Dons are on the front foot, and that ball's whipped in dangerously, and well, Stevens, you've got away with that one a little bit, but
enjoying this.
Yeah, I'm
enjoying this.
I am.
Very difficult to call this game so far.
Yeah. 10 minutes to go to the break.
Yeah, keep it going.
Yeah.
Three Counties Sport. Luke Ashmead and Steve Watkins calling it for both sides this afternoon. It's 1-1, and it's about right, in all honesty. That was quite strong from Mitch Hancock. Not intentional. They just both went up at the same time. That's one where Ronnie Henry's just going to feel a little bit winded, isn't it? It was more about the timing of the two players coming together than anything nasty.
If Ronnie Henry goes down, it hurts. So he's
been winded,
like
hasn't he?
He's like Ray Lewington. Not Ray Lewington. Dean Lewington.
Yeah. There's something wrong.
They're the kind of players who just don't go down. It's a sign of weakness, isn't it?
He's been winded quite badly there. You almost heard the thud as he went into him, and there's an opportunity for the players to come across and get a drink.
Yeah, that will be a little bit of a worry, because Stevenage are probably a little bit short in the right back position, with Ronnie Henry, of course, deputising for Luther Wilding this afternoon.
Well, let's just have a look at some of the other scores in League Two at the moment then. It finished Lincoln 1, Mansfield 1, Steve. It's Cambridge 0, Bury 2. Now, you talked about Bury's qualities, and they seem to be doing it again this afternoon. Cambridge 0, Bury 2. That maybe puts last weekend's Stevenage defeat into some perspective, although, you know, Cambridge aren't
very good.
Aren't very good. I was just saying that politely.
And they beat Stevenage.
Well, there we go. Carlisle 0, Forest Green 1. Cheltenham 1, Newport 0. That's interesting. Newport doing all right this season. Colchester 0, Exeter 0. That's an interesting scoreline as well, because both those clubs are looking for promotion this season. Crawley 1, Crewe 0. It's 0-0 between Macclesfield and Yeovil, Morecambe and Notts County, and Tranmere and Oldham, and then it's 1-1 here. Port Vale 0, Swindon 1, and Northampton are beating Grimsby by a goal to 0. Keith Curle seems to be doing a decent job at Northampton and just moving them up that League Two table with just predictable but very solid football, Keith Curle.
Yeah, interesting to see how he'll be getting on with Stevenage. We're travelling up to Northampton in a couple of weeks, 15th.
In our other featured games, Wickham have equalised against Shrewsbury in League One. Adam El Abd and Amadi Holloway with the goal for Shrewsbury, of course, former Wickham player. And Luton have beaten Gillingham by a goal to 0 in League One as well. Gillingham 0, Luton 1. Andrew Shinney with the goal for the Hatters, who are looking to continue their fine form in that division. Also, we've got Premier League football this afternoon, and so far it's Watford 0, Liverpool 0. In fact, not too many goals in the Premier League. Brighton 1, Leicester 0, and Fulham 1, Southampton 1. Although West Ham are losing at home against Man City by 3 goals to 0 already. Man City are just scary. Anyway, we're back underway here. All that time, by the way, there was no football, so I was filling in time while the Ronnie Henry was taken care of, and he's back on his feet. Here's Chuck Sanike, and in a dangerous position. Nobody going to him, which was quite surprising, Steve. Here's Houghton to Hancox. Hancox will chip it towards the edge of the penalty area. Header away by Cuthbert. Williams steps in and just gets his head on it. Loops in the air. There's Lewington. Picked up, though, in the middle of the park by Burham. Campbell Rice will play the ball down the line. Jordan Moore-Taylor will get it away from Kennedy Willie. And now Lewington. Lewington will just calm things down to Gilby. Gilby will play a left-footed ball down the line for the run of Reece Healy. Healy's going to get in front of Ronnie Henry. Healy now looking good. MK Dons just getting better in this game, aren't they? Gilby now to Hancox. Hancox tried to get it down the line. Campbell Rice is there out for a throw to the Dons. Yeah, I'm just a little bit worried about Ronnie Henry. He's just his movement. Yeah, he's just holding his side there as well. He's not the paciest of right backs. He reads a game more than relies on pace, but just there he had to let Healy nip in and get the ball so that he could get himself into position to be able to defend it. Long ball forward towards Chuck Sanike. Header away by Scott Cuthbert. Picked up by Hancox. Hancox on the left-hand side. Will deliver. Can't get past his first man, and that man was Byram. Back to Lewington. Lewington on the left-hand side. Comes infield, Dean Lewington. Still Lewington. It takes a bit of a ricochet and falls to Agard. Agard to Lewington now in strange territory on the right-hand side, but he plays it to Houghton. Houghton to Williams. Williams midway inside the Stevenage half on the right. Rolls the ball down the line to Britton. Britton will step inside. Comes infield. Looks for the ball forward. Tries to get it to Gilby. It's going to be defended. Cuthbert to Timlin. Timlin forward towards Ravel. Ravel will play the ball back, and it's played nicely forward by Seddon towards Kennedy. Kennedy on the far side. Hasn't got too much in the way of the support. Now he has. Seddon into the box. Can Seddon get there? Good run from Steve Seddon. Brilliant run, because he started the move, and it's put behind for a corner. How much ground did he cover there? He gave the ball to Kennedy, and whilst Kennedy's chasing that ball and getting it under control, Seddon is almost on the 6-yard box. Fantastic energy. No, good stuff from Steve Seddon. He started the move with a lovely ball down the line for Ben Kennedy. Kennedy just waited, held the ball up, waited for players to come through, and you're absolutely right. Seddon was the first player to get through near post. Corner from the far side. 1-1 here on 95.5 and 104.5 FM. Stevenage 1, MK Dons 1. Left-footed delivery, decent one. High ball into the area. Header, though, was from George Williams. Behind it will be a corner from this side. Yep. It's near side, the right-hand side for Stevenage. Well, Stevenage will be wanting to get Ben Nugent on, on these corners, on the end of the corners. He's such a powerful, such a power from the set pieces. Really does get onto the end of the ball. He's a big, tall lad, powerful, and with a powerful header. We just don't see it enough, but
he's going to be the one that they're going to be aiming for, I'm sure.
4 minutes before the break, or before we find out if there's any added time. It might be a couple of minutes. Here comes a delivery from Byram. Nice delivery from Byram. Header away was a good one, I think, from Chucksanike, actually, who was doing his defensive duties. Timlin will deliver. Left-footed delivery into the penalty area. Header in. It's away by Jordan Moore-Taylor, but there's been a free kick. Offside, sorry. Offside flag when the ball was put back in. And funny enough, I was talking to Paul Tisdale about Chucksanike, and he has a very specific role. That's poor ball out from Lee Nichols, and Healy kept it in play, but inadvertently gave it to Stevenage. Kennedy to Henry to Timlin. Timlin then plays the ball to Byron back to Timlin forward. Campbell Rice might have been flagged offside if he'd have got the ball, and it's cleared upfield towards Anike. Anike takes it on, looks to get past Cuthbert. Can Anike get past Cuthbert? Cuthbert will roll it back to Stenny Dieng. Dieng takes a touch. Anike's there looking to stop Dieng get the ball away, but he does get the ball away. Hancock's jumps well, but only into the path of Cuthbert. Cuthbert puts the ball forward towards Alex Ravel. Ravel up against Jordan Moore-Taylor. Moore-Taylor turning, twisting, and will eventually get the ball away up towards Hancock. Hancock's got shoved in the back by Ronnie Henry, and it's going to be a free kick.
You said that ball was rolled back to Senny Dieng. I don't think it was. He'd class that as a roll back from
Fizzed back to Senny Dieng,
and he dealt well with it in the end.
He did in the end. Yeah. He was. Paul Tisdale was saying that Chucksanike has. He's a bit of a luxury player, let's be honest. We all know that, and Stevenage fans will know that as much as anyone. But he has very specific roles defensively, and more often than not, when you see balls put into the box, it's Chucksanike who heads the ball.
Yep.
Here's Campbell Rice. Campbell Rice on the right-hand side. He's not exactly a tracker back, is our Chucks. Stevenage fans will know that. Jordan Moore-Taylor against Campbell Rice, and Jordan Moore-Taylor gets the better of him. Lovely ball down the line for Healy. Just curled and kept in play. Healy will run forward. Anike on the far side. Oh, he can't quite get it through to Anike, and that was the ball. That was the ball. Stevenage were all over the place then.
Stevenage will be fuming there because there was a foul down there. The referees waved play on, and it was just lost far too cheaply in the end by Campbell Rice, which allowed Dons the chance to get forward again. If anything had come from that, it's one of those, isn't it? You want the referee to play on, but
sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Ball forward from Nichols, and Nugent was all over Healy. Good challenge from Scott Cuthbert. Really good against Chucksanike.
Had to get that right, and he did.
Didn't he? Yeah. And Dieng will clear upfield, only as far as Williams. And MK Dons just starting to impose themselves on the game, Steve. Do you feel?
Yeah, just starting to get on top, aren't they?
But it's 1-1. That's the scoreline.
Yeah, it's been a good contest and
played with some pace this game, hasn't it?
Here we go.
Forward towards Kennedy.
Oh, it's chance
Lewington
here.
Can't do anything with it. Kennedy will play it across. Poor from Kennedy.
He's on his wrong foot.
First touch wasn't great from Kennedy, and that's what stopped him from doing anything. And then the ball over towards Healy wasn't great, and it's out of play, and it will be a throw.
That's the downside of Ben Kennedy. That ball over the top, it was, to me, he's almost through on goal, but it was on his wrong foot, he'll always look to get that onto his left foot.
And that was the problem there, wasn't it? Dean Lewington couldn't go to it because he'd have fouled him, and he knew that. And then I think Lewington saw Jordan Moore-Taylor and said, "Well, it's up to you. It's up to you." And Jordan Moore-Taylor was positioned decently and got the better of
Wickham.
Canada.
2-1 up at Shrewsbury now. Or at home to Shrewsbury.
Yep. And Wickham 2, Shrewsbury 1. It's 1-1 here between Stevenage and MK Dons. And if the scores stay like that, MK Dons will return to the top of the League 2 table. Out to this near side from Timlin to Henry, back to Timlin on the edge of the centre circle in the MK Dons half, just in the MK Dons half. It's rolled back to Byron to Kennedy. Kennedy will take a touch. Kennedy puts it forward towards Campbell Rice. Campbell Rice now has Henry on the overlap, doesn't need him. Campbell Rice tries to get it across. Will he play it back to Ronnie Henry? He won't. Campbell Rice against Lewington. Still Jamal Campbell Rice. And that's come off Dean Lewington. And it will be a throw to Stevenage, very close to the corner flag.
4 minutes of added time.
4 minutes. That means we'll wrap up very quickly at the end of this first half and get you back to the other frequencies. Long ball forward, and Nike's there. Dieng's come out, and Nike puts it towards goal. Will it go in? No, it won't. Agard's there, can't quite get there, and it's over the bar. Oh, has it gone in? No, Agard tries to get it goalwards. Goodness me.
0, dear.
Well, let me just talk you through what happened there. Nike was running forward. Dieng came out. Nike put it over the top of Dieng. It bounced. Agard got there, tried to shoot the ball goalwards. It didn't spin on the line.
It looked like it was going off. It spun back into play.
And then Anike
the crossbar.
And then Anike tried to get it into the back of the open net with an overhead kick and couldn't. Goodness me, I need to see that again. That was farcical. But
it came off the crossbar at one point, definitely.
Yeah.
And then it was.
Goodness me.
I don't know what Senny Dieng was doing, chasing out that one. I think he's
going to have a look at this again. Anike puts the ball over. It bounces once.
Heading up into the air, off the crossbar.
Bounced just in front, and then Agard puts it behind.
Yeah.
Goodness me. Could have quite easily been a goal, but it's not. 1-1 is still the scoreline. Anike does well. No, he doesn't. Foul from Anike. Anike then hits the crossbar with the ball forward, and it's going to be a free kick for Stevenage. Goodness me, this game, you can't take your eyes off it at the moment. There's so much going on.
It's good stuff.
It is. It's a good game. Really good game.
Proper game.
Yeah.
Joel Byram, he's not happy with Chuks Anike.
Not much in it. It was a free kick, definitely a free kick.
I think he caught him across the face.
Oh, okay. Didn't quite catch that.
Joel Byram.
He is a bit army, isn't he, Chuks Anike? When
he's a big lad, isn't he? Yeah. And let's be honest, I don't think there's any malice in it. I think he's just caught him.
Henry with a good header forward. Lewington gets a touch. Or does he? No, he did. I thought he touched that. Actually, but did you? I thought Lewington touched that, but he didn't.
I'm not sure.
Come off Campbell Rice, and it's going to be a goal kick. We're into that 4 minutes added time, of course, at the end of this first half. A couple of problems.
Played 2.5 of those.
Yep, indeed. And it's Luke Ashmead and Steve Watkins. And I don't know about Steve, but I'm really looking forward to the second half. I just want a quick cup of tea and get back on with it.
All to play for. You get a pie here, Luke.
You get a pie?
Yeah.
Goodness me. Do we have to go round to that change?
No. It's all brought to your seat.
Brought to the seat?
Oh, yes.
Oh, things have changed at Stevenage. Things have changed. Things have got better here. Thanks to you, Steve Watkins.
There's a reason for that.
Oh, there is, yeah. Love.
Free kick to Stevenage here.
The last thing you want to do is take credit for, the pies turning up. I wouldn't do that. You have to be an idiot to do that. Anyway, here's a free kick for Scott Cuthbert. 3 County Sport, 104.5 FM and 95.5 FM. 1-1, good game, enjoying this a lot. Header away by Jordan Moore-Taylor, picked up by Byram in the middle of the park. He'll go and try and get the ball delivered. Does towards Ravel. Ravel just tried to flick it on. It almost hit his shoulder, Alex Ravel, and cleared upfield by Gilby. Cuthbert's got to get there. Cuthbert does enough. Cuthbert does very, very well, I have to say, in the middle of the park. Gets it out to the far side, and Hunt will play it forward. Seddon on the run on that far side. Williams is just looking to get it out of play. Williams eventually has to collect the ball and plays it to Houghton. Houghton right-footed ball down the line towards Anike. Picked up on that far side by Nugent. Is it he'll play it across and will play it down the line, and it's out of play, and it will be it's the half-time whistle and a thoroughly good first half of football. Stevenage, you feel, had MK Dons had the first 3 minutes. Then it was Stevenage who played really good football for about 20 minutes. Got the goal.
Yep.
Got the goal and then had a good...
Well, in the last game and a half, all from outside the area that Stevenage have conceded. And that's got to be a disappointment, and I don't blame Senny Dieng for that, because I don't think any goalkeeper would have saved that one today.
Well, MK Dons are returning to the pitch, and they'll be kicking towards their home, their travelling supporters then, in the Austin stand here at the Lamex Stadium. Don't think there are any changes at the moment. Just looking around, no. I think we've got the same players coming out. I mean, is it the kind of what's Dino Mamria been like about changing his personnel this season? I can't see him making many changes at the break.
He's not going to change. He's not going to make any early changes there.
Just Ronnie Henry that I think we were a little worried about, weren't we? He was winded.
I think he'll be okay. He's got through that. When you look at the bench for Stevenage, they've got young Liam Smythe, who's only 17, just turned 17. A real prospect from the youth team, but Alex Reid has been struggling to get back in after injury. Terence Van Kooten. These are players who are perhaps in and around the squad and this is where we start talking about the strength of the Stevenage squad. The only two players I would expect to see at some point would be Emmanuel Sanupi and James Ferry, and then possibly one of the two front men at the death. Stevenage out and warming up down below us.
I must say, your stadium announcer from behind looks a bit like MK Dons former manager Robbie Nielsen. It's really every time. My colleague Toby from the Milton Keynes said the same. Every now and again,
Jay Drakford.
Jay, I'm not knocking him. Just every now and again when I look at him, I think that's Robbie. Oh no, Robbie Nilsson's not here anymore. It's kind of that slightly longer hair and
unkempt look.
Now I didn't say that, but you can say that.
Well, Jay, of course, was on commentary with me last week at Bury. His first one this season. We won't be using him again.
He's a bad omen, isn't he?
No, in fairness, it was. He did very well. Good guy, Jay Drakford.
We must report that we've seen Dino this afternoon, Mr. Dean Thompson. He is here.
Oh, he's fluttering around.
He's fluttering around, and I think he's had 3 or 4 pints. I think he's had 3 or 4 pints of shandy. And to be honest with you, once he's had those, he's anyone's.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. We're just about ready for the second half. Better change the subject, I think
so. Oh, thanks, mate.
As Stevenage will be playing right to left as we look at the pitch. And that will be them to get the game underway. The referee just having a quick count around. Mr. Brett Huxtable. Maybe. He's not had a bad game as he is.
He's done all, to be fair, for him, he's done all right.
And Johnny Hunt gets the ball forward down the left-hand side. Alex Ravel challenges for that, but muscled out by George Williams and Jordan Moore-Taylor, I think it was. And it'll be a throw to Stevenage midway inside the Dons' half. Joel Byram swapping passes with Johnny Hunt and then turns it back to Ben Nugent. Out of play, another throw to Stevenage, this time in a little bit more of an attacking area. Ben Nugent, of course, son of Richard, who was a legend here at Stevenage at the back as well in his day. As Ben Kennedy turns, gets the ball across, it's gone loose. Johnny Hunt with the shot on the run. He put his boot through it and it just spun and curled away, but not too far away. It was a good sighter from the left back. We don't see him in too many shooting opportunities during the course of the game. And it will be a goal kick to the Dons, and as in that first half, Stevenage pressing right back to the edge of that area, just cutting off any opportunity of playing the ball from the back from the Dons, who've given up on that, and the two wide defenders immediately heading up towards the halfway line. Aniki with a header, but that's into the path of Jamal Campbell-Rice. He's dispossessed rather easily. And then a sliding challenge from Jamal Campbell-Rice over on that far side, and it's out of play. Dean Lewington will take the throw in.
I think he's been probably Stevenage's weakest link so far in the game today, Campbell-Rice, in my opinion.
He's not had the best of games as he is. He's the oldest player probably on the pitch, 36 years of age, who's only been featuring in the last month and has been really featuring well. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. I would imagine we'll be seeing Sanupi on for him at some point, probably in the next 10-15 minutes or so.
He's just not having much joy with Dean Lewington, is he? That seems to be the problem at the moment. Dean Lewington seems to be dealing with him quite well.
They'll know each other really well. They would have come across each other so many times, I'm sure, in the past. Stevenage with a free kick. Joel Byram finding John Hunt. Hunt's pass not great towards Seddon. Seddon's done well to win
Very
that.
Well.
Finds Ben Kennedy. Kennedy puts it out to Nugent. Nugent with the cross in. That's headed up into the air. It's not away. From Jordan Moore-Taylor.
It's a great delivery from Nugent.
It was. And Kennedy does well to win the throw-in on this near side from Callum Britton. Johnny Hunt will go across to take. Goalless, oh no, it's not goalless, a goal apiece here at the Lamex. That throw-in cleared onto the head of Scott Cuthbert, who will head that one just into the Dons' half of the pitch, where it will be a throw-in in front of the Stevenage dugouts. Callum Britton, ball in hand. Throws, and Niki being watched by Nugent. Nugent's done enough to win it. Johnny Hunt can get the clearance away.
He's a big unit, isn't he, Nugent?
Yeah. Oh, he's a big lad.
Yep.
Here he is with another header into the path of Timlin, and Joel Byron touches it across for Ronnie Henry. Good feet from Henry into the Don's half, and then he almost gets a nosebleed and looks for support. It's now with Nugent. Played infield to Joel Byram.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Paul Tisdale asking Chuck Tanike to press, but
yeah, you can try, can't you? Nugent, very wide. Angled ball in from him. Alex Ravel does really well.
Football from Alex Ravel.
Finds Timlin. Timlin out to that right-hand side. Now it's Kennedy. Kennedy to the edge of the area. Out to Jamal Campbell-Rice. Campbell-Rice into the area he goes. Low ball in. And that's... Oh, that was a real opportunity for Steve Seddon, who just couldn't get it out from his feet, and it bumbles into the arms of Lee Nichols.
Should be 2-1, Steve.
Oh, dear, that is a chance. Here come the Dons, though. Agard it was. We started that one off. But Stevenage can get it away. And now Kennedy has got that down into the area he goes. Can he finish? No, he can't. He's been held, pulls it back. There's a shout for a penalty. Do you know what? That's a good shout as well. I think it was Seddon again who's got into the area. And I don't know whether he was pulled down there.
Not sure on that one, I've got to say. I'm not sure there were too many appeals from him. That's the only reason I'm judging that. I don't think he got too shirty about it.
Now the Dons coming forward, and it's Ronnie Henry who just blocks that first ball and then puts it out of play. It will be a throw to the Dons, level with the probably the penalty spot. In fact, it's level with the edge of the penalty area. Dean Lewington will take. Throw in, return to Lewington. He drills a ball across, and Niki just couldn't reach that one, and perhaps fortunate for the Stevenage defenders as well, because they just let Nike drift away and peel off the back of them, and that would have been a free header.
Yeah, it was, and I think the delivery from Dean Lewington caught everyone by surprise, if I'm brutally honest with you, because it was almost whipped in, but too hard for Chuck Tanike to get there.
Luton go 2-0 up now at Gillingham. Seni Dieng clears. It's now with Jamal Campbell-Rice. To that right-hand side, Ronnie Henry. Back to Campbell-Rice. Campbell-Rice looks up, fires in a shot. He's got Alex Ravel fuming at him there because he was in space and he wanted the delivery, but the shot came in and it was high and wide.
Did it go over go onto the road?
I don't know. I think it did go over. It did go over into the road, didn't it?
Oh, there you go. Look, it's come back.
Yep, that's all under control now. We'll get the goal kick coming in from Lee Nichols. Nichols straight down the middle, that one goes. Nugent meets that one into the path of Joel Byram. Will find Timlin. Timlin just in trouble there. Gets it back to Dieng. Aniki running through on him, but still manages to get it away. And then Johnny Hunt can't keep it in on this near touchline. Throw to the Dons. Tight, isn't it? It's all very, very tight at the moment.
Stevenage, though, started the second half well and better than MK Dons. Whether the Dons are just letting them have that, almost just saying, right, OK, let's see what you've got. But is it going to be the same as the first half, where Stevenage have the better of the first part of it and then MK Dons come into it more?
Alex Ravel didn't know too much about that one.
No, I don't think Jordan Moore-Taylor did either, did he?
And it nicked off him in the end. And Moore-Taylor and Ravel challenging for it, but finds Timlin, who'll find Campbell-Rice.
Just bubbled up, didn't it?
I'm just watching Dino Mamria now. He'll be looking at Emmanuel Sanupi, and getting him on pretty soon. It's just not working for Jamal Campbell-Rice. As Nugent plays it back, Dieng has to charge it away first time. And underneath that, there's a foul by Callum Britton.
Yeah, badly timed that was from Britton. Stevenage just held his ground and it was a definite free kick.
Yeah, Joel Byram stood on the ball. Dino Mamre are really unhappy with Jamal Campbell-Rice on that occasion. A couple of wrong options taken by him, hasn't it? Byram now. Chucks Anike doesn't look anywhere like 10 yards away. Drilled across by Byram. Scott Cuthbert gets a head on it. Loses out though, and now Dons can come forward. This is dangerous. Is that Alex Gilby? Plays it across. Joel Byram's got back to just to win his header. Nugent tangles. Well, I think that's a little bit harsh. It was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other there. 2 players on the floor. Jordan Houghton and Nugent. The foul adjudged against Ben Nugent. And Dean Lewington and Houghton stood over the ball.
Bury, the team you talked about, currently in 3rd place in as it stands in League 2.
Well,
that doesn't surprise you at all, does it?
Not in the least.
No.
Not in the least.
No.
Rich vein of form. Free kick taken quickly by Lewington. It's headed away by Cuthbert. The shot will come in. That's wide of Seny Dieng's right hand upright. Yeah, that's. I meant to have a little punt on them after last week. I'm really impressed with them, I tell you. Dieng clears. Hunt challenging for it. He's not going to win that one. Down goes one of the Dons players.
Britton.
Callum Britton.
Holding his knee.
Do you know how frustrating is that? That's what, 2 or 3 yards infield. Right in front of the Dons dugout.
Yeah. Well, just an opportunity for them all to get a drink. It's still 1-1 here, and I mean, in all honesty, will both sets of players be, will both managers be happy with a 1-1 draw? I'm not sure who'll be happier.
I don't know. I think Dino will never be happy with the draw. That's for sure.
No.
I know what you're saying, and
but my point is against the side at the top of the table. Do you know what I mean? He might think, well, we've stopped the rot. We lost 4-0 last week against Bury on the road. Bury are now in 3rd place, but we've brought the top of the table MK Dons, and we've got a point against them. I think Paul Tisdale would be happy with a point. I've got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think he'll be happy with a point against a good Stevenage side. I really do.
I think the way the game's gone, I think Dino would be probably the more disappointed of the two, because I just feel...
Yeah, so far in this second half, I agree.
Yeah, I think Seddon's missed a real opportunity, maybe 2, to get on the score sheet. One, he just couldn't get the ball out of his feet.
Well, at least we're back underway, and Callum Britton's come back on as well, Steve.
Yep. Ronnie Henry to Campbell-Rice, who was having a long discussion with Dino Mamre. Kennedy it is with a searching ball. It's headed away by George Williams. It will come back though. Ben Nugent swings the ball across. Dean Lewington intercepts that one with a header forward. Straight to Michael Timlin. Timlin onto his left foot, clips it forward. Alex Ravel chases, that will run away from him. And out for a goal kick. Played 13.5 minutes of the second half here at the Lamex Stadium. Stevenage 1, MK Dons 1. It's tight as you like. Timlin heading it back. Cuthbert under pressure from Aniki, gets it away. And then it's out of play. Throw to Stevenage. Midway inside the Dons half. Joel Byram in possession now. Bit of space for him. It just opens up. He's not one to travel too far with the ball, but he can deliver a ball like that to Hunt. He'll find Ben Kennedy. Kennedy's been a little bit more influential today than we've seen of late. Still got the ball at his feet, and he just shows a little bit too much. He's fouled there. Didn't see that.
I think he got an 8.5 for that. If I'm
I think he needed that free kick because he'd held the ball for so long, and then it was kind of running away from him, wasn't it? And I think he's got a bit of cramp as well. Probably hasn't played a great deal recently, Ben Kennedy.
I can see why he'd frustrate you as a manager.
Oh yeah, and he does frustrate Dino Mamarita.
Yeah,
there's been no.
He's been quite open, hasn't he? He's been quite open about it. It's Dino. At least you know where you stand with Dino. You know what I mean? He's the kind of bloke who'll just say it as it is.
Oh, absolutely. It was. I'm
not going to argue with him.
He got both barrels. Ben Kennedy got both barrels from Dino Mamarita, and as he came off the pitch against Oldham, it's a free kick. Joel Byram whips that one in. It's
great delivery from Byram. Great delivery.
Nobody could get the touch, and it's out for a goal kick. Just needed somebody on it. Watford 0, Liverpool 1 at Vicarage Road. Goal apiece here, and Stevenage have had much the better of this second half. In fact, we've hardly been looking left to our right at all. It's all been looking away to our left-hand side, and which is the goal that Stevenage are attacking. Nugent plays it through to Timlin. Timlin out to that far side. Ronnie Henry keeps it in, does really well, finds Alex Ravel. Ravel back to Henry. Now Jamal Campbell-Rice. Back to Henry. Delivery comes in from Henry. It's a Don's head on it. I think
Gilby was the player who came. It was important as well, I think.
Yeah, because Kennedy was there waiting. Throw in taken by Hunt. Finds Timlin. Now it's Kennedy. Wide on the left-hand side. Kennedy's left foot ball into the arms of a grateful Lee Nichols.
I think we're going to see a change in Milton Keynes' side. Looks like Ryan Watson is the player who's going to come on.
Campbell-Rice at the moment. It's Stevenage with a lot of possession. It's now with Byram. Ravel out to Henry. Henry's first time ball. Travelled a long way, that ball. Dons eventually deal with it. It's now with Lewington. Lewington looks up, plays it forward.
Oh, you could see Agard making the run on that far side, couldn't you? And he
trying
just
to flick it on. Stevenage work it forward again, though. Back to Ravel. Ravel to Jamal Campbell-Rice. It's a good head of steam being built up by Stevenage. Campbell-Rice out to Henry. Henry pulls it back. It's now with Timlin. Timlin looks up, clips the ball forward. Ravel.
Yeah.
It was. Couldn't get to it, and the referee judges the foul, but
he's still a very good player, Alex Ravel, you know.
Oh, absolutely. He just impresses you.
Yeah, I'd have him in my side every day of the week.
Yeah,
it's just
everything about him is professional.
So Mitch Hancock's is coming off. Reece Healy, I think. Let's just have a look how they're going to do this.
Reece Healy's come across this near side
a little bit, but no, it's going to be like for like. Watson is going to replace. Yeah, Watson's going to replace Mitch Hancock's.
I'm expecting Emmanuel Sanupe on shortly for Stevenage.
Right.
For Jamal Campbell-Rice. That's my...
You'll get plenty of energy from Watson. Very energetic player is Ryan Watson, the number 7. Ball
headed out by Scott Cuthbert. Dean Lewington those Dons fans actually stir. That's the first time we've heard them in the second half.
It's the only opportunity they've had, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Cuthbert thumps that forward. It was a bit of a collision between two, and two Stevenage players collided.
Yeah.
It's Ronnie Henry is one of them, and I think Michael Timlin's the other.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the Stevenage playoff with Southend 3 or 4 years ago. Michael Timlin and Dembele, Bira Dembele clashed and collided in the first leg, and
Steve,
touch and go.
You know me. I
Can't remember last week.
What happened last week. Genuinely,
I can't. I can't normally. It's just certain things stick out. Well done, Johnny Hunt. There, he's
you keep them to yourself.
Headed it back to goalkeeper Senny Dien with Reece Healy waiting. Seddon chests it, only chests it out of play. Throw on the halfway line. On this near side. 20 minutes played. Oh, Healy's just got himself through. Flashes a shot across the face of goal. Nobody there to touch it in.
Corner.
Kieran Agard was the closest Dons player there. I think Seddon felt he was fouled.
Yeah, he felt he was fouled in the build-up, didn't he? Pushed off by... Well, it was a push-off, but I think,
Yeah. So, corner to the Dons. A goal apiece here on 95.5 and 104.5 FM. Corner comes in, it's touch goalwards, and the shot comes in just over the bar from the edge of the area there from Callum Britton, was it?
Yes. Was it Healy, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, yep.
Another shot from Healy.
Healy it was, and that was into the Dons. It was dipping viciously, but Senny Dieng putting the ball down, and Stevenage looking to take a short one, but the Dons not pressing half as much as Stevenage do from those goal kicks. Held up on that far side. It's Timlin just swings a boot lazily through the ball, asking Seddon to challenge for it. Johnny Hunt there. That's going to be a yellow card. Well, there's people not happy about that, but I thought that was a bit of a reckless challenge from Johnny Hunt.
Little bit.
And he'll pick up a yellow card. And it's a free kick to the Dons inside the centre circle. And it's, well, I'll tell you what, I was just going to say, I'll hand you over to Luke for the remainder of the
yeah, you can.
game. We'll do that now.
I was just taping down something that was kept falling off the desk. Anyway, Williams puts the ball forward. Clearance comes for Stevenage up towards Alex Ravel. Ravel feels as if he was caught in the face by George Williams. And Ravel just on the edge of the centre circle, feels as if Williams caught him. Williams is going across to speak to Alex Ravel now. Ball delivered, header coming in! Oh, it's a goal from Kieran Agard! Agard with a wonderful header! It's 5 goals in 5 for Agard! Delivery came from the left-hand side. Agard just moved his body, arched it well, got his header in, and it's past Senny Dieng. There'll be a lot of talk about that challenge on Alex Ravel, who was still down, but the goal's going to stand. It's Stevenage 1, MK Dons 2.
Luke, that's outrageous. That is outrageous. There's a head injury there. There's a head injury, and the referee has not stopped play. Now he's allowing treatment for Alex Ravel. How can that be? How can that be? Dino Mamria has not moved, and I think that tells you everything there. He stood there, and now he's talking to the fourth official. That is outrageous. I'm sorry. Alex Ravel is down. He's taken a knock, and the referee has just waved play on, and he has gone nowhere near Alex Ravel. And then once the ball's in the back of the net, he said, come on to the physio. Now, to me, if he doesn't think it's a head injury, that's a yellow card against Alex Ravel. He hasn't done that. He's waved the physio on. The referee has done that wrong. Well, that is outrageous. I'm sorry. Good goal. Let's not. You played to what's happening.
Yeah.
But that is a huge moment, and Dino Maria is going to be fuming.
Well, there we go. Steve's pretty much called it as it is. I can totally understand the disappointment for Dino Maria and indeed for Stevenage. Because just to reiterate, Alex Ravel was down, right? I actually stayed looking at Alex Ravel, and the reason was George Williams went across to almost apologise, didn't he?
Yeah.
Williams went across to Alex Ravel because they played in the same, in the same team. And at that point, I was watching those two. The ball was played out to Ryan Watson. Watson delivered. The play continued. Alex Ravel was still down, and Agard heads it in. I mean, it was a really, as Steve said, it was a really good goal.
Yeah. That's just going to detract from it. That's a massive talking point. Free kick to Stevenage here, though.
Free kick to Stevenage. I'm just watching the replay again in front of us. Luckily, we've got the MK Dons press officers down in front of us, and I'm just keeping an eye on the replays as well. Here comes the free kick, though. Left-footed delivery into the heart of the box. Good delivery! And I think it came off the head of Scott Cuthbert, but off the top of his head, and it's gone out to this near side. Has it been kept in play? No, it hasn't. Throw into Stevenage off Callum Britton, who's slightly annoyed he couldn't keep it in play. Who are we going to see? Sanupe.
Yep. That would be, I'm sure, for Jamal Campbell-Rice. And, well, he'll offer Stevenage something going forward, that's for sure. It's not. It's Johnny Hunt who'll come off. So Steve Seddon will drop to left back, I'm sure.
Either that or he's going to go free at the back like MK Dons. I suppose that's a possibility, but
I'm actually quite surprised with that. It's Jamal Campbell-Rice will come across the left-hand side. Manuel Sanupe over to the right.
So Sanupe on. Throw in for Stevenage. Jamal Campbell-Rice is there. It's with Seddon.
I'm going to be really... I'm going to say Stevenage, I'm really going to be disappointed. They're not going to feel that they've deserved that.
No.
Absolutely not. And now they've got it all to do to come back. Having said that, with a bit of anger in their play as well, so maybe that will spur Stevenage on a little bit.
Well, it's Stevenage 1, MK Dons 2 here at the Lamex Stadium. 5 goals in 5 games for Kieran Agard. Reece Healy on the score sheet as well. It was Steve Seddon who got the opening goal on 21 minutes. Healy equalised on 29, and then Kieran Agard, 68 minutes to the game, has got a header and another goal for Kieran Agard. And he's not done very much in this game at all, Agard, but he's a striker and he's scored another goal. 5 in 5. I mean, bottom line, it is
doesn't
the bottom.
Need to do much, does he, when
bottom line,
scoring goals like that.
Here comes the clearance from George Williams, smashes it upfield. That's going to be easy, and Nugent will just let the ball go over him and into the arms of Seny Dieng. Dieng just drops the ball in front of him towards the edge of the D. And he's taking his time here, Dieng, and eventually kicks long, high looping ball over the halfway line. Williams jumps. He's got such a good leap on him for quite a small guy as George Williams. And then the ball is smashed forward for Kieran Agard to run after. Nugent's there, and it's come off Nugent. Agard just doing enough to put Ben Nugent off.
Came off his thigh, didn't it, and out of play. He's done what he's had to do.
Here's Britton, right-footed delivery. Header away was a decent one, almost fell to Watson. Watson had an impact, didn't he, with his assist for Agard's goal. Now on the far side, this is better. This is the substitute Sanupe. Sanupe has support over on that far side. Does he use it? Yes, he does. Ronnie Henry. Henry takes a touch. Infield it goes to Timlin. Timlin to Byram. Byram now midway inside the MK Dons half. Switches play out to this near side. Decent pass from Seddon. Seddon to Campbell-Rice, who's over on the left now. Campbell-Rice looking to take on Britton. Campbell-Rice onto his right foot, now onto his left foot. Will Campbell-Rice deliver? He does deliver towards the far post. Header away by Dean Lewington. And Lewington almost gets it away on his second attempt. The third attempt, he does get it away. Smashes it upfield towards Anike. Anike trying to get past Cuthbert. Cuthbert doing well. Anike still has the ball. Can he get it through towards Kieran Agard? He can't. No free kick given, although MK Dons wanted it. Now the home side will try and clear, but they can only clear by going back through Joel Byram to Seni Dieng, and Dieng will just take his time to play this ball forward long again as Kieran Agard chases him down.
Alex Reid coming on for Stevenage.
Dieng playing it to the near side, Nugent forward, long ball, and that's got to be a handball, hasn't it? No, says the referee. Kennedy, I thought, with a handball all the way across. Nichols drops it, and on the second attempt he gets the ball. Nichols dropped it, and I think it was Sanupe who was the player coming in, wasn't it? But he didn't get it. Was that handball, Steve?
I must admit,
nobody appealed, so it must be just the way we were looking.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I thought he'd managed to do enough, but there's a foul.
Yeah, Anike with one of his fouls.
There's nothing. Stevenage will take that one though, because they'd have been in trouble if the referee hadn't given it.
Yeah, Timlin over to the far side, and Henry and Sanupe almost stood next to each other and getting in each other's way, but Sanupe will play it in field, picked up by Byram to Timlin out to Ronnie Henry forward to Sanupe, has made a nice diagonal run over on that right hand side, rolls the ball back to Henry in field to Timlin with a bit of space to run into, slots the ball through towards Kennedy with the shot, curling left foot shot, and it's high and wide and not very handsome.
No, it wasn't. He just tried to take on too much there, Ben Kennedy. I think if he'd have looked up beforehand, easy to say from here, isn't it? But it was just, there was two players there waiting and they couldn't get to it. Jamal Campbell-Rice now will come off and Alex Reid will replace him. I don't really understand this. For me, Steve Seddon was one of the most dangerous players for Stevenage, and he's been pushed back to left back now because Johnny Hunt's come off.
Right.
Alex Reid has gone up front.
Well, Stevenage have the ball now, and they're looking to get back into this game. They're only losing by that one goal. 2-1 is the scoreline. And Steve will remind me of my prediction pre-match. Here's Kennedy. Was there a foul from
not for me?
No, says Steve, but it's been given. And the free kick's been taken quickly. Delivery comes from Seddon on the far side. Header away by Watson. Long way out. Shot coming in from Nugent. Does it take a deflection?
Corner.
It does, and it will be a corner. Yeah, and it's really tense and nervous in that MK Dons defence at the moment. George Williams just having a little shout, I think, at Callum Britton, who can sometimes go missing, and I think that's what happened then. 2-1 here on 3 County Sport, 104.5 and 95.5 FM. How long have we got left in this one? About 14 minutes, 13.5 minutes. Delivery comes from the corner. Header away was a decent one from Jordan Moore-Taylor. It's come only as far as Seddon. Seddon now, left-footed delivery, loops the ball towards the edge of the area. Kneed away, I think, by Houghton, was it?
Yeah.
And it's now over on the far side. This is dangerous.
Kennedy
with the ball, left-footed, loops it in, header away for MK Dons, only as far as Seddon. Seddon then rolls the ball into the path of Sanupe. Short pass, Byram. Back to Sanupe. Sanupe will try and get it across. Good sliding tackle from block, I should say, from Callum Britton, and he's up to Seddon. Cleared only as far as Seddon to Byram to Kennedy. Kennedy now running forward. Kennedy with a left foot pass out to this near side. Good pass from Kennedy to Sanupe. Sanupe on the edge of the penalty area. Left footed all the way across, but it's not going to find a Stevenage player, and it's cleared upfield by Gilby. Good spell of pressure from Borough.
Just going to say the same. Good spell from Stevenage. They're angry by that, and I just feel that the game doesn't deserve to be won in the fashion that it has. I agree. What I mean, and I think Stevenage are going to be keen to try and put that right.
Here come the Dons.
To do now, though. Offside.
No, I think, is it offside or a free kick? I think if maybe a free should be brought back for a free kick here. I think, is it going to be?
And a card. Oh, do you know what?
Yeah, I think it was a free kick actually.
And
so the referee has said no advantage, so the offside doesn't stand. The free kick does on Jordan Houghton. And who?
It's another Joel Byram.
It was Byram, wasn't it? Yeah.
Another card though. And you look and it's really going to be frustrating. Dino Mamrieri is going to be spitting feathers after this. Was that deserving of a card?
I think the referee saw it as cynical. Yeah, I think he thought it was, and it was late. It was after the ball had been released, and that's why the free kick's been given and the yellow card's been given. Yeah, I know what you mean actually, and in some ways it's a bit of a shame. I mean, from MK Don supporters, I have to say, for them,
well, say
for instance, I was calling this game against Crewe or Bury or whatever, we wouldn't care, would we? And so I totally understand that that we're covering both sides. From a MK Don's perspective, they don't care. From watching this as a neutral, it's disappointing, actually. You're right that the game has to be decided when something like that happens, because in itself, had that been scored as a goal, you'd have gone, actually, that was a really good header and a good goal, but it just leaves a sour taste in the mouth.
What's really disappointing for me was it was clearly a head injury. That's all it could have been. The player's gone down holding his head, and the referee has just completely ignored that till the ball's hit the net.
I agree, that's a really good point. And he was stood very, very close to Alex Ravel, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Houghton's back on his feet, but he's going to have to come off until the referee's whistle blows. And then, anyway, it's a free kick. Ryan Watson's over this, as is Dean Lewington. Lewington left-footed delivery towards Chuckson. Anika heads it back. Oh, and it's over the bar from Cuthbert.
Is that offside?
I don't know.
Well, the flag's not gone up, has it? It's stayed down, but goal kick maybe.
Must have been a foul in somewhere in there, because I
kind of hope there's another goal in the game, because it's just leaves a bit of taste now.
What was my prediction pre-match, Steve?
2-2.
Steve hopes I'm right.
I know a few people had a 2-1 prediction, but wouldn't be drawn on which way.
Which way? You're right. Okay. Yeah.
And to be honest, that's probably quite a fair shout.
No, absolutely. Lewington punts the ball forward. I'm sorry to everyone who's tweeted me today, and I know I will have got some tweets today, because especially on away days I get tweets. I apologise, my Twitter's down. I don't know what's going on. I can't get into it. It's all locked and all gone wrong.
So have a look at my Twitter. I haven't even had a look.
So I do apologise for that if you've tweeted me today and you're listening, wherever you are listening on I follow MK Dons, or indeed on I follow Stevenage, or is it I follow Borough? Is it I follow Stevenage or I follow Borough?
I follow Stevenage, yeah.
And anyway, here's the kick for MK Dons with Lee Nichols. Chucks Anike, lovely skill for him to Agard. Agard will roll into path of Healy. Healy on the edge of the area, still Reece Healy. Healy on his left foot, shot from Healy, blocked well. Comes out, long range effort coming in from Houghton, and Houghton puts it over the bar. He had a bit more time than that, Jordan Houghton, should have done better.
Yeah, Seddon's done well though, hasn't he? He's stopped him going on the outside, and then when he's got it onto his left foot, he's just got the block in as well. It's really good work, Steve Seddon. Another substitution for the Dons. Robbie Simpson coming on, local lad.
Yeah, Robbie Simpson, not a million miles away from here, will replace Chucks Anike.
Robbie Simpson, only from Nebworth, just literally 2 or 3 miles.
Over there. Over that way. Over that way.
Yeah.
Chucks Anike comes off, and
that's good radio, that is.
Yeah, everyone knew exactly where we were pointing. Over there, can't you see?
Not over there, over there.
It's 2-1 to MK Dons. Healy and Agard with the goals after Stevenage took the lead here, if you've just tuned in. And there is tension here, I have to say. It's a tense atmosphere with about 7.5 minutes remaining in this game. Can Stevenage get an equaliser in this one? Up towards Alex Ravel it goes. Lovely control from Ravel. Plays it to Byram. Byram to Timlin. Timlin with a short pass to Cuthbert, just inside his own half. Now in the centre circle with Timlin. Timlin thought about going long, but rolls it to Byram, who's just over the halfway line. Slotted through to Kennedy. Kennedy will go past this man. Was he brought down by Williams? He is, and it'll be a yellow card for George Williams. And I think that was more about George Williams' momentum than George Williams getting a late, but it has to be a yellow card.
Yeah,
has to be a yellow card.
It wasn't too much in it.
No, he got up and he knew he was going to get a yellow card.
Yeah. So, see if Stephen, it's the wrong side for Steve. Stevenage don't really have a right-sided, a right-footed set ball specialist. So Joel Byram's having to take this from the left-hand side. So it's going to be an outswinging.
No, it's going to be short. From Byram to Tillam. Tillam will deliver. Header into the penalty area. Pushed away. Shot coming in. It's Scott Cuthbert. Is it Scott Cuthbert who's got the goal? Cuthbert, I mean, I'm not sure what Nichols was doing. Nichols just pushed the ball away. It went absolutely nowhere further than the edge of the 6-yard area. It was played back across, and of all people, almost on the penalty spot, or just in front of the penalty spot, Scott Cuthbert smashed it into the back of the net, and we've got a 2-2 scoreline here at the Lamex Stadium.
All of a sudden I can start to feel a little bit better about things as well. That was Scott Cuthbert, his first goal for Stevenage, and how timely could that be? And well, he's done well. He's had to finish it, but it's you have to say, what was the goalkeeper doing? Like the Dons in their second goal, I don't think Stevenage are going to be too worried about that one. No. Level terms here at the Lamex, and I can breathe a little bit easier now.
2-2 is the scoreline. We've got 5 minutes remaining. Was that Simpson and Timlin, I think, was it?
Timlin, yeah, it is Timlin.
I just took my eyes off that for a moment. It is Simpson, isn't it? Yeah.
Timlin must be really close to a suspension. There's a smoke bomb's gone off. That will really annoy those Stevenage fans over there. They really take exception to the smoke bombs, as most people do, of course, but the real faithful Stevenage fans really have a campaign about that. Simpson's on his feet. No card for Timlin.
No. Three Counties sport. Last 4.5 minutes. What a game we've had in this Three Counties derby. 2-2 is the scoreline. Here comes the free kick for the Dons. Goodness me, I tell you what.
Senny Dien totally misjudged that, didn't
really did, and Jordan Houghton was delivered the ball. Dieng just let it go, but I tell you what, that was curling round and could have gone straight in from the free kick.
My worry was Simpson coming in at the far post, who just couldn't get onto it, because he could have knocked that one back in, but just Senny Dieng not looking 100% sure this afternoon, and a couple of times.
There's Simpson. Simpson heads it forward towards Agard, who would have been a mile offside. 2-2 is the scoreline here in what has been, for lots of different reasons, an entertaining game. I mean, it's not been packed with quality. Steve's right. It hasn't had loads of goal-mouth chances, but it's been gritty, it's been passionate, it's been well fought, it's been tactical. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been two teams kind of slugging it out, but in a not a horrible way.
No. And anyway, Stevenage have an opportunity here to get a third. Jordan Moore-Taylor can't get the ball away, and now Ravel has it. Ravel over to the far side, and Henry back into Alex Ravel. Ravel to Henry. Henry will just flick it forward. Good run from Alex Ravel. Needs to be Jordan Moore-Taylor, who does well.
No.
And Alex Ravel fell over Jordan Moore-Taylor than it being a foul. And no is the right word for, and that's a foul from Timlin, is it? I tell you what.
Seddon, I think.
It was Timlin who fouled Healy.
Okay.
And away by Jordan Moore-Taylor. You almost need two of us here, one to watch the ball and one to watch what's going on off it. 2-2. Final stages of the game here at the Lamex Stadium. 2.5 minutes plus added time. Is there a winning goal from one of these two sides? Here's Timlin. Seddon's got some space on the left-hand side, but it's rolled short to Kennedy. Kennedy turns, twisting, turning, was looking to do something. Kennedy still has it. Kennedy then rolls the ball back to Timlin. MK Dons maybe just happy with the point, are looking a little more defensive now. Kennedy forward. That's poor towards Seddon, but it's going to fall to Sanupe, is it? Williams gets it away on as far as Ravel. Free kick given for Watson's challenge on Alex Ravel, and it will be a free kick just on the edge of the D, slightly to the right-hand side. Good position for a free kick, Steve.
Absolutely. Joel Byron territory, if ever there was ever going to be one. That's a yellow card as well. And can I just remind you, Stevenage came back from 2-1 down in their last home game against Oldham. Are we going to see the same today?
Was that a yellow card for Ryan Watson?
Yes.
Was it Watson?
I'm not sure who it was who committed the foul, but
yellow for Watson.
Stevenage trying to put the ball down, and Agard is just kicking it away at the moment. This annoys me. This does. Why?
Yeah, all that kind of
business.
Why are there
any Dons players anywhere near the ball in that situation. Now the referee marches them back probably 6, 7, 8 yards.
Right, free kick.
Does Joel Byram fancy this one?
Are we going to have a grandstand finish for Borough fans here?
Does Ben Kennedy fancy this one?
Michael
Byram. Timlin's having a word.
Timlin's going to walk away. Is it going to be Kennedy or is it going to be Byram?
It's not. It's Ben Kennedy by the looks of things.
Kennedy, left-footed. Kennedy with the shot.
He does!
And Kennedy has hit a left-foot free kick in off the underside of the crossbar to potentially win this game at the Lamex Stadium. It's a beautiful free kick, left-footed, wonderfully placed, beat Nichols, and Stevenage look like they're going to win this game at the Lamex Stadium against MK Dons. Stevenage 3, MK Dons 2.
Oh my word, Luke. Oh my word. He stepped up. I was expecting Joel Byram. That was his territory all the way. Ben Kennedy says, no, I'm having that. I was worried about the ball hitting the wall. It went over the wall, looped in, underside of the crossbar. Stevenage 3-2 ahead for the second time in 2 consecutive home games. Wow. Just wow.
Well, what a game we've had here this afternoon. There's 7 minutes added time.
7 minutes?
7 minutes added time at the end of this half. And Dino Mamria just said to the referee system, what are you talking about? Goodness me, 7 minutes.
Where does that come from? Oh,
it's all happened in this game. All happened. And Gilby just rolls the ball out of play. And MK Dons are heading towards only their second league defeat of the season. They lost very late on against Lincoln, and they might well have lost very late on here against Stevenage. What a huge 3 points it could be again for the Borough.
Oh.
What a game, what an afternoon. Everything we wanted from a game of football.
It is for me so far.
It's not been pretty, it's not. But it's been full-blooded. Stevenage player has just...
Oh, something gone on down there. Dino Mamria's not happy. Steve Seddon ended up in the dugout area. Dino Mamria not happy with what happened, but fourth official's got to sort that one out because we've got play on.
Well, yeah, no, Seddon ended up in MK Don's dugout, but yeah. I'm not quite sure why Dino Mamria would have been upset. Surely he wouldn't have... Nothing would have happened in that dugout, would it? I'm not quite sure.
Only something that we couldn't see because it was... Luke Wilkinson will be on shortly for Stevenage. That's not a surprise.
Me, no, just eating up a little bit more time. And the referee, Brett Huxtable, just warning Seddon, and a little bit of a few tactics there just to slow the game down. Houghton looking to slide on that when he doesn't. Williams will clear. Upfield it goes massive up and under towards Agard. Agard was fouled by Nugent, but the referees allow play to continue. No, he's going to bring it back. That's good. No, that's good refereeing. That's good refereeing. I'm sorry. Agard was fouled by Nugent. He allowed play to continue. There was no advantage. He brought it back. It's not a yellow. I'm not sure it's a yellow card, to be totally honest with you, but it's definitely a free kick.
Well, how many cards is that now, though? Was it? Yeah. Wow. 1, 2, 3. I'll make it 3, but that's all I've written down. There's more than that, isn't there? Yellow cards for Stevenage. Ben Kennedy, the goal hero. Is it the winning goal hero? He'll be making his way off. He's not rushing. We're going to have more than 7 minutes here, you know.
Just super entertainment this afternoon. And I know if you're a Don supporter, you don't want me here to say that. You don't want to hear me saying that, but it has been great entertainment. Anyway, substitution just taking place. Luke Wilkinson comes on for Ben Kennedy. They're shoring up shop. Lewington plays it goalwards. Now back to Britton. Britton will roll it to Lewington. Lewington on this near side. Final stage of the game. Lewington delivers into the penalty area. Lots of bodies going up, and it's a goal kick. It's a goal kick. Came off George Williams, I think, the final player to touch the ball. We've had 3.5 minutes of the 7 added on, but we might get another minute on top of that, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there will be. Where does a 7 come from, though, Luke?
No, I don't know.
We had 4 minutes at the end of the first half, so it's not the both halves put together,
no,
which you so often see. I just don't see that. And with Stevenage's record recently in added time, they're not going to be relishing that fact. 7 minutes. Oh.
Stevenage 3, MK Dons 2. Shoving the back of Ravel, was it?
Now, Dino Maria is having a go at the fourth official there, and quite rightly so, because...
Yeah, what, yellow cards? You're talking about the cards?
Yeah. He's really going to be upset, that things have not gone his side's way from the officialing side of things.
Alex Ravel's just using all his years of experience.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it was a shove in the back, and it is a free kick, and potentially could be a yellow card. But Ravel made much more of it than he needed to. But he did. I'm not knocking it. It's just what you would do as a professional, and he's got so much experience. Anyway, free kick.
All I want is consistency, Luke, and you just don't seem to get it. I'm not saying you don't get it.
2 minutes remaining.
We don't get the consistency.
Free kick forward, header from Alex Ravel, picked up by
Reed
on that far side. Near side rather, out of play, and it'll be a throw to MK Dons. They are running out of time here at the Lamex Stadium. Final stages, we're into the last 2 minutes, unless the referee adds on a little bit more. I'm not sure he will. Simpson collects, Simpson will play the ball forward. Healy's running onto this one. Senny Dieng's there. Dieng will get it clear up towards Nugent. Nugent takes it on his chest.
Dieng's done really well there.
Put it out of play. Simpson throws forward towards Healy. Healy takes a touch. Good touch from Healy. Healy inside the penalty area. Now Britton's got to deliver. Oh, and Britton puts it over and behind, and that's going to be a goal kick, and Paul Tisdale's not hugely impressed with that from Callum Britton. And more important for Britton to get it across quickly was to get it across.
Yeah.
Even if we'd have had to come back.
Yeah. Got about, well, in theory, we've got about a minute just over remaining
just over
here.
I
still think there's going to be another minute or two on top of that, Stevenage haven't been in a rush to get the ball back in play, and you could probably understandably so in a way, but the referee will always add it on.
Stevenage 3, MK Dons 2. What an afternoon of football. You can have your say with Jeff Doyle in Three Counties 505. We'll hear from the managers. From the throw, Simpson heads it into the middle of the park. Massive up and under from Ronnie Henry. Up towards Alex Ravel chasing after this one. Jordan Moore Taylor's there, and Alex Ravel's won it. Into the pass of Sanupe. Sanupe towards the edge of the penalty area. Still Sanupe takes a deflection behind. It will be a corner. Absolutely breathtaking football from Alex Ravel. Brilliant from Ravel.
That's what he gives you. We're 5-6 minutes into added time, and Alex Ravel will not stop.
Was an MK Dons player. A lot of people think he should have stayed an MK Dons player. A lot of fans thought Alex Ravel should have stayed at the club, but it wasn't to be, and he's done a brilliant job here for Stevenage this afternoon, who are on course for 3 points against
7 minutes played.
MK Dons, and they'll move up to 8th place, just outside the playoff places on goal difference. And the cheer you hear after the full-time whistle will tell you that after a really huge encounter between these two sides, it's finished with Stevenage victory. They were 1-0 up, they were 2-1 down, but they won the game by 3-2. Goals in the second half from Cuthbert, and an absolute scorcher from Ben Kennedy from a free kick have given them all 3 points. And MK Dons, for only the second time this season, have lost in the league. Steve?
Yeah, well, I'm speechless. It's the second, not dissimilar to the Oldham game a few weeks back here, of course, at the Lamex, where Stevenage came back from 2-1 down, and it was just fabulous entertainment. And I know I'm going to be a little bit biased on that. I think Stevenage thoroughly deserved that on that second half, because I think they had the majority of it, and they perhaps would have felt really aggrieved with the Don's second goal, but Stevenage have come back, and maybe it's fired them on to victory.
You can have your say. Myself and Steve will continue to talk about this one. There's loads to talk about. You can do it with Jeff Jeff Doyle, 81333, start your message with 3CR, or tweet at BBC 3CR. Here, full time at the Lamex Stadium, Stevenage 3, MK Dons 2.
FM and 104.5 FM. 5:05 to come next.
Travel news for beds, hearts and bucks.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Watford, the A41 North Western Avenue looking slow there on the speed sensors around the Dome roundabout, while the A1 in Boreham Wood delays there at the A411 Stirling Corner, adding around 6 minutes or so onto your journey. The A414 North Orbital Road heading